This is Maya. She's spending her evening binging tech podcasts and video essays about AI engineering. AI, or artificial intelligence, is the field is computer science dedicated to creating systems capable of human-like reasoning. As she watches these creators solve complex problems, she feels an overwhelming wave of productivity and inspiration. 4 hours into this binge, her internal sense of mastery and readiness is maxed out. She has consumed so much high-level information that she feels ready to tackle any project. Then she opens a blank IDE. An IDE is an integrated development environment, the digital workspace where programmers write their code. She sets out to build a machine learning script. Machine learning is a specific technique where computers learn to recognize patterns from data rather than following strict rules. But as she stares at the blinking cursor, her mind goes blank. That feeling of mastery is gone. Why does this happen? Why does massive consumption of highly educational content leave us unable to execute when it is time to do the work? The answer lies in a widespread phenomenon known as pseudo-learning. Pseudo-learning creates the satisfaction trap. This is a cognitive illusion where you feel inspired and your brain biologically mistakes that comfortable feeling for the actual acquisition of a hard skill. There's a biological mechanism working against us here. Watching success stories gives your brain a hit of dopamine. It creates a sensation of achievement without requiring you to experience any actual mental friction. We watch an experienced engineer explain a complex problem on a podcast, and we falsely equate their practiced explanation with our own ability to sit down and solve that problem. Researchers classify this as an addictive illusion. Bypassing the process where you figure things out falsifies learning. It feels real until you must explain it. As research notes, pseudo-learning is addictive precisely because it appears to provide substantial learning with little effort. Passive consumption fills your brain with facts and information. However, because that consumption requires zero active reasoning, it builds zero actionable capability. Podcasts and lifestyle videos are obvious culprits. But step-by-step coding tutorials can also spring the satisfaction trap if we aren't careful. Educational theorists refer to this issue as Mother Robin teaching. It happens when an instructor tries to mentally chew up everything for their students, so the information can be neatly placed directly into their intellectual beaks. There is a consequence to this method. When the video tutorial handles all the heavy reasoning and logic and troubleshooting on your behalf, you simply swallow the completed syntax without doing any work. The result is what researchers call a poly-parrot learner. You become someone who can copy what you see on the screen, but you fail to grasp the underlying logic behind the code. Passive replication is a hollow exercise. It stands in contrast to the rigorous, active intellectual labor required to construct an original machine learning model. For self-taught coders, this is a harsh truth to accept. If the tutorial is doing the reasoning for you, you aren't learning how to code. You are just learning how to copy. Maya realizes this and decides to abandon the passive video tutorials. She pulls up the raw documentation to confront an unchewed machine learning concept directly: pseudo-labeling. This diagram shows how pseudo-labeling works. You train a model on a small set of labeled data, let it evaluate a larger set of unlabeled data, and then it loops those confident guesses back into the training set to improve itself iteratively. As Maya attempts to build this herself, she experiences the messiness of real learning. She writes code, hits wall after wall of errors, deletes her work, and tries again in deep frustration until the code finally runs as intended. That frustration she feels is not a sign of failure. It is the mandatory biological sensation of active cognitive growth. This provides a reliable metric for self-taught developers to gauge their progress. If you aren't struggling to figure a problem out yourself, you are trapped in pseudo-learning. Genuine mastery in any complex field requires abandoning the dopamine-rich comfort of the satisfaction trap. You must be willing to trade that easy feeling for the hard-earned victory of independent reasoning.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to AI Wisdom with Ivo Jackson so you don't miss any future AI insights.